Good morning, everybody. How are we doing this fine and glorious day?
Good morning, Rick.
All right. I hear everybody's still coming on. That's great. You know, it is, what is today? The 26th of October. We're almost done with October. Can you believe it? Wow. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy stuff. Hopefully everybody is already a month deep into doing what they should be doing in order to have the year they want to have next year and honestly finish strong this year as well. So today it's just me again. Look at that, 2 weeks in a row, right? I want to talk today about success traits. Okay, last week was Rockstar Reboot. Hopefully you enjoy that. Today is success traits. I'm talking about this kind of stuff. You know, I want to motivate you guys into having your best year ever and finishing strong. Okay, I find a lot of people had really great years this year. And because of the pandemic and so forth, they seem to be lulling themselves into coasting through the fourth quarter. I would not do that. You can't coast in life. There's no coasting. Your heart doesn't take time off. Your liver doesn't take time off. Your lungs don't take time off. Your brain, you know, I mean, you got to rest, of course. All right. But, you know, it's all about it. So success traits, if you want to ask a question or jump in or make a comment, remember, all you got to do is hit *6 and I can hear you. *6, but then make sure you remute yourself on your own phone because most of you are on cell phones. All right, so here we go. The first one is I call it the law of action. You've heard of the law of attraction, right? You can call. I have a little book called Success is a Verb. It's all about that too. You know, your body is designed for action. Your life is designed for action. You're on a planet traveling through space at a bajillion miles an hour, spinning, tilting slightly to create, you know, the seasons. If you think about it, everything is designed around action, not inaction. There is no inaction that'll get you where you want to go. So people go, well, I believe in the law of attraction. So do I. But you have to be putting the universe on notice as to what you're looking for by taking action. Okay? The law of attraction and the law of action are a package set. All right? So you have to, you know, just like prospecting and lead follow-up. Action, attraction. They go together. One does not happen without the other. You can't think your way. It's like saying, you know, I want to become really good at baseball. I've been watching the World Series, so I'm getting better every day. No, you got to play baseball. You can't just watch it. Okay? So there you go. You have to be heavily invested in the law of action. All right? That's number one. Number two on my list is don't settle. Don't settle. You look at, you have to have goals, and they've got to be really a stretch for you. And then when you hit the wall of resistance, all right, don't settle. Okay, I just had a great coaching call with one of our rock star agents from Arizona, Marcy Murphy, and she said, she's a climber. She climbs rocks. She said, I almost quit a couple times on this big climb this weekend, but I didn't. And I kept going, and I made it. And you know what? That's when you feel great about yourself. You have tough goals, you make it. Okay, whether they be for, you know, your physicality, your mindset, your business, your family. By the way, those are the big five for me. I just went through them again. I have a goal in these 5 areas. My business, which includes money saved, investments, my job, you know, family includes relationships, you know, all that good stuff. My mindset, my spirituality, and my health. Those are my 5 areas. All right. You know, some people have a few more, some people have a few less, but those are my 5, and I have a goal every year, all the time, and every one of you should have your business plan done and your goals for those 5 categories already done. You need to do that. All right. Every single year, you need to do the same thing and have those goals, and hopefully they go up. So don't settle. Go ahead.
I missed the last one. I'm sorry. After mindset and spirituality, what was the last one?
Health.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Good question. Okay, so you got to have, you know, and I like to have a little 2-sentence goal for each area. So it's kind of important. that you set. Look, it's like setting the GPS in your head when you set these categories, right? I have a goal for each one of these. I've got it written down. I've got it in my notes. Okay, like I've decided to start a new book. Okay, I wrote Little Success is a Verb, then Success Selling Real Estate. Now I'm starting another one. I have the notes. I already have the chapters, okay, in my notes. And every time I think of something, it'll probably take me a year of just putting my notes together. And then I will decide, then I'll split the notes out. And, you know, and the reason I do that is, okay, the reason I do that is because it makes me listen to all my audiobooks better. It makes me, you know, pay attention more when I'm doing that. It also drives me a little crazy knowing I have a goal now to do it, which is good. Stretches, you know, whatever it is for you. I don't know, I can't tell you, but I do know when you have goals and you have things you're striving for, it makes life way better, in my opinion. All right. So there you go. All right. Any other questions about those 5 or the first 2 points I gave you? Okay. Now here's where people make a face when I say the next one. Track your numbers. Oh, he had me until there. Yep. Track my numbers. I don't even know what that means in real estate. Okay. Well, it's very simple. If you want a copy of my number analyzer, email Diane Ray. She'll send it to you. Okay. And you just got, you know, like how many contacts do you make a day? How many leads do you create a day? How many appointments are you going on? What's your closing ratio? Whoa. I'm in real estate. I got in real estate so I could just talk to people. Well, yeah, but keep track. You got to keep track, folks. I don't know. You're a business owner. You're a solo entrepreneur. You're in business for yourself, but not by yourself with this company. Use all the tools and you'll get a hell of a lot further. I'm not asking you to work 70 hours a week. I'm just saying when you're working, be on purpose about it. All right. So track your numbers. Keep track. Winners keep score. That's actually a saying. I believe it. Right. Plus, you can get better if you're not keeping. It's like saying, "I want to lose weight." Well, write down what you eat every day. Well, I don't want to do that. Well, then you really don't want to lose weight. You have to have a plan for each one of these areas. I want to get in great health. Great. Keep track of your workouts. I don't want to do that. Well, okay. Then I love when people ask me for help when it comes to working out or eating right, and I give it to them, and then they fight me. I'm like, well, that's just what I do. You don't have to do that. I'm not trying to fight anybody. I'm just trying to help you. And if you're so set in your ways, then it may be tough to change. You just change one area at a time. Decide. To me, constantly changing is invigorating. Why would you ever want to stay the same all the time? All right. So, you know, constantly changing makes you grow. It makes you, I mean, you know, like if you play an instrument, you probably want to learn a few new songs. If you're a reader, read a bunch of books, or a listener to books, listen, because it engages your brain differently. It, you know, you create new neural pathways. It's actually exercising your brain. There's all kinds of good things you can do, and tracking your numbers is a critical part, in my opinion, depending on what you're doing. All right. So that's number 3 on my list. Number 4 is the 90-10 rule. Yes, I created this rule. It used to be called the Pareto principle. I call it the Rockstar rule, which means that 90% of the business is done by 10% of the agents. It's just a fact. You can fight it. You can get mad about it, but it's a fact. It's like getting mad at gravity. I don't like gravity. Well, it doesn't care. There are certain things you can get mad at and change. There are certain things you can't. Like you need oxygen to breathe. No matter how mad you get at that, you got to drink water every day, and you're subject to gravity and whatever. Like me, I'm subject to 197 pounds of gravity. I weighed myself this morning. I know that. That's what I'm subject to. So it doesn't matter how. I can't wake up in the morning and go, you know what? Gravity is not for me today. It doesn't matter what I think of gravity. It's there. The 90-10 rule is there. It's part of life. It's just something you have to accept. And people go, well, that's depressing. Well, only if you're focused on the 90%. What if we focus on the 10%? How do I become part of that group? There's only 2 groups in real estate. Those that get by and those that do extremely well. There's nobody in between. I've been doing this a long time. Okay? So understand action's critical. Don't settle. Stick to your goals. track your numbers, accept the 90-10 rule. Matter of fact, embrace it. And then next one is make decisions quickly. Don't over-agonize. I think there's actually a book called Making Decisions Fast and Slow that talks about, yeah, there is. I read that book recently, about a year ago. It's in, it just reminded myself to read it again. It talks about how most of the best decisions you make are the ones you make gut instinct, not the ones you over-agonize, overthink. If you have a fantasy football team, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Right before the game, you make a change. You should have made that change. Happens to me. I stopped doing it. If I make it gut level, I just go with it now. It works a lot better. If you overthink stuff, you usually make mistakes. Okay, so make decisions fast. Think about it, make a choice, go with it. Now, it's kind of like you're going, if you're driving from here to San Diego and you've made a wrong turn, well, you can do a U-turn or whatever you got to do, make it, right? So you can, but once you start heading in that direction, you're probably going to make changes, of course. Right? Right, so make decisions fastly. Or, quickly, fastly. Is that a word? I don't think so. All right, so that's number 5. Number 6 on my list is start the day early. And look, I even wrote it in here. And make your bed. Get up. To me, that just makes a statement about the day. You get up, you make your bed. You go to the gym. You come back from the gym, your bed's made. You're like, yep, see that? Paying attention today. I know that sounds simple, but I tell my son the same thing. You didn't make your bed. You get up, make your bed immediately before you're even thinking. Right, and then you just keep going through the day like that, just making sure you do everything exactly the way you're supposed to the best of your abilities. There's no perfect. There's nothing perfect. No, there is no perfection. Trying to perfect is just an excuse not to take action. I think overthinking is the same thing, actually. Okay, so next one on my list, repetition is part of the game, ... Then I wrote GOI. Get over it. Get over it. So, so your job, when you get great at real estate, it almost becomes a little boring or a little repetitive. Great. So is going to the gym. So is eating. And think about it. There's a lot of part of life that's repetitive. That's okay. There's a lot of life that's repetitive. It's okay. As a matter of fact, if you're going to be successful, embracing repetition is part of the game. Make it fun. Just come up with a way to make it fun. There's always a way to do that. All right? So repetition is part of the game. Get over it. Number 8 is no soap opera, please. In other words, you don't have to, that starts with talking about other people. You don't need to do that. All right? If people are talking about somebody else, just say this. Well, I don't really understand it because he's not here to defend himself. It really shuts the conversation down. Or you can be like me. I just don't play part in it. You want to talk about somebody else? I'm not interested in doing that. It's not my job. I don't, I just don't think it's fair. All right. And it goes on and on from there. The drama. Most of the time, we create the drama in our lives that we don't really need to. I think it's a distraction to what. And then I always thought, why do we want to distract ourselves? Look, being negative, they've done studies on this, being negative actually takes more energy than being positive. And that's why I always say, well, have you ever talked to a negative person with energy? No, because it sucks all their energy being negative. Hi there. And they even sound bad. Where an energetic person, hey, right? Because it takes less energy to be positive. It affects different parts of your brain, everything. All right? So watch. No soap opera, please. Stay out of the soap opera. You don't need to get into it. Most of the time, it's you creating it. Or you know what? You're having one of those days, you know exactly who to call who will play the soap opera game with you. Hi, Dave. This is Ray. Then you start spewing out all the soap opera. Don't do it. Just get back to work. Do something that's productive. Right? Soap opera is a pain in the butt. You can call it riding the emotional roller coaster. Whatever you want. I read in a book years ago. It said the emotions you experience that you don't need to on a daily basis are like the train that comes into town. It makes the stop, but you don't have to get on the train. You can just let it go through town. And that involves, like, when people want to argue with I have a political opinion. You guys probably have no idea what it is because I don't talk about it. All right? People want to argue or they say something about you know what? I just look at them and smile. All right? So, you can have any political opinion you want. Okay, you live in the best country in the world. That's your right. You can make any choice you want, as long as you're willing to live with the consequences or benefits in some cases, right? Okay, you're not wrong for having a different political opinion than me, and I'm not wrong from having a different one than you. These people that get so crazy today, I'm like, can you imagine? Because they have it just goes to show you how change. This is why discrimination is huge. Different and change scares people. It's always been perplexing to me why that is. Different and change is good. But I don't know, if you listen to a book called Sapiens, okay, so this really shocked me. Well, it didn't really shock me, but it kind of did. That, hundreds of thousands of years ago or thousands of years ago, I don't know exactly when it was, but there were several species of humans or human, on the planet. And that's why people look differently because, they were different combinations and so forth. But eventually, because of the differences, most of the species were wiped out because they were different, right? So now you have, if you're from Asia, you look a little different because the combinations of people, and it's really weird if you listen to it. It's pretty amazing. I don't know why different is bad. If you don't look like me, it's bad. It's kind of crazy if you think about it. You don't do it the same way as me, you're bad. Why is your way the only way and the best way? To me, that's some massive insecurity. No, my way is the only way. Well, that's when you're the most dangerous, by the way. Look at all the crazy leaders that mutilated thousands and millions of people. It's because their way was the only way. That's not the way the world works. Your way is a way. And somebody else could have a wholly different way to get there. Okay, and they have the right to do that. So political today, someone has a different political opinion than you do, they still can be a wonderful, unbelievable, awesome person just with a different political view than yours. And it's perfectly fine. They both work. As a matter of fact, it wouldn't work unless we had checks and balances. That's why the government has 3 pieces to it. Okay? So, in other words, not an even number. That's the way it works. All right, so no soap opera. And look at the next one. My next one says 9, respect for everyone. I kind of just covered that one. Respect. You should be respecting everyone because that's the golden rule. Especially in a business where you have a fiduciary responsibility to people. Respect for everyone. And I'm talking about, the person who, opens the doors and empties the trash cans and cleans the cars and to right up to the CEO and everything in between. Everybody deserves the same respect. Everybody does. Everybody deserves a smile. How you doing today? What's happening? Okay, and the respect because they're humans. Everybody deserves your respect, and if you don't give it to them, it says way more about you than them. Okay, so the golden rule. When I see respect for everyone, I think the golden rule. Treat people the way you would like to be treated. You hear a different political opinion, you don't have to go tirade. What I do is I don't even get into the conversation. That's one opinion, and I'm glad you have yours. You live in the best country in the world, and you can have that opinion. It doesn't make them right or wrong. It just makes it different. Respect for everyone, smile, enjoy, make somebody's day. I like to say hi, wave to everybody, and treat them with respect. Ask them a question. How's your day going? What's happening? Doesn't matter what they do for work. The reason this country works so well is because you have everybody doing different things. If everybody wanted to do the same, everybody wants to be a doctor. Well, we'd have a problem if everybody was a doctor. Everybody's a lawyer. That would be really a big problem. Everybody's a realtor. I know that a lot of you think everybody's a realtor, but you're not. Probably Orange County is out of all the markets we're in. Orange County would be the most competitive, the most agents per capita. Okay, Las Vegas and Arizona, not even close. Okay, in the desert of California, decent competition, but still not like Orange County. All right, so respect for everyone. And then the last one says, take risks, be courageous. I'm not talking about with your car and your driving, although some of you do that quite well. I'm talking about with your business, with the scripts, with, you should have the foundational stuff that you do that you're going to do your business, but you should implement something else too. Do something that makes you uncomfortable. That's why working out, think about it. Working out, you become uncomfortable every single day. It's not comfortable going from in your bed to waking up, putting on clothes, to getting to the gym, and then getting yourself up to a sweat, even though it's 40 degrees this morning when I went to the gym. Holy cow. They went from, 60-something to 40. Wow. That's a wake-up call. All right, but it's definitely invigorating. All right, so it's great, but you're uncomfortable going from one extreme to the other. But as you start to sweat and as you get into that groove, and all of a sudden you start thinking different, but unless you go through that, you don't get there. So there's a little uncomfortable involved, which is part of the gig. I don't get it. People think I have to be comfortable the whole time. You're never going to be successful if you're comfortable all the time. Pick you're uncomfortable. Because in order to be successful, it requires being uncomfortable. But you feel so fulfilled after. Like when I was talking to Marcy this morning, I could hear it in her voice. I pushed through. There were several times I thought I couldn't make it. I tried. I retried. And you're dangling from a rope. That can really get your adrenaline pumping. Climbing a rock face. Like, to me, skiing does that. I get a whole part of my being up and going that doesn't exist until I'm skiing. I can tell she gets the same thing from rock climbing. I do the same thing with playing guitar. Like I played out last Thursday night. Great cause, breast cancer. But that, as soon as a couple songs in, I'm in a whole different mindset than I am in any other time. It's a adrenaline. I don't know. It's hard to explain when you play live. Even speaking does that for me sometimes. I would call it living myself. In your business, you're in real estate. You're self-employed. You're self-employed. You're an independent contractor. You have the best name brand on the planet, incredible tools. Now, all you got to do is use them. And in that fact, like maybe you saw my interview with Jack Woodcock last Thursday. He's been doing this he's been doing it for over 40 years. I've been doing it for 35. He's been doing it for almost 40, almost 10 years more than me. Okay, and he talked about early on and how he does it now. Their goal of 50 million as a team. Come on, that's incredible stuff. I saw Stevie Nicks interviewed. Was it on 60 Minutes? I don't know. It's the one news show I watch with Tina once in a while, is 60 Minutes. And I think she was interviewed early in the show. She was interviewed at some time yesterday. I saw that quick interview, and she said, she's 72. But if you saw her on stage, you wouldn't know that. She goes, this is how I stay young, by being involved. What else would I do if I wasn't doing this? I don't know if you saw the story, but somebody, a guy in one of their songs from the 70s, he was on a skateboard holding a selfie stick, skateboarding, singing that song, and all of a sudden that song reignited. It's on the top 20 list of songs now because of that video. Now everybody's doing the song and the video and posting it, I think on TikTok or something. So little things like that. So if you guys want to take one of my songs on iTunes under Rick B, feel free and go skateboarding and do a selfie. I'd love to have one of my songs in the top 20. Okay, that just came out of nowhere. I didn't have this planned. That was a shameless plug there. I'm sorry. All right, let's go through these really quick as a review now. And I would listen to this one a few times, especially, look at, having your best year ever next year is a decision. It doesn't matter who wins the presidency. It doesn't matter, it matters what you're doing on a daily basis. And your focus might have to be slightly different. But success traits, notice I didn't call them talents, because talent is something that you're born with. Traits are something you can develop no matter where you're coming from. Okay, like I don't have to be 6'9", 245 pounds, 6% body fat like LeBron James. Okay, but even LeBron James got to work his butt off to be that good. But if you're not 6'9", okay, you're not going to probably play in the NBA, or even 6'2", although Spud Webb put a curveball into that one. He was like 5'6", dunking the basketball. Right, so, but it hasn't been anybody quite like that since then. So these are traits you can develop. Okay, action. You're in a business where it doesn't matter what color you are, what size you are, what sex you are. If you do the right stuff, you're going to be successful. That's I would call it the leveling factor of real estate. Right, number one, success is a verb. Remember, the law of action. If you want the law of attraction to work for you, you have to be fully invested in the law of action. Don't settle. Set a goal. Go for it. Track your numbers. It's critically important. The 90-10 rule actually exists. Don't deny it. Accept it. Make decisions quickly. Okay, start your day early. And then I wrote make your bed. Remember that one? Okay, maybe that's the parent in me coming out now, but it just works. I don't know why it works so well. It just does. I heard it from a Navy general years ago, and I'm like, you know what? He's right. Make your bed every day, the minute you wake up. Okay, so repetition is part of the game. Get over it. It's just part of the game. You can't help it, so just accept it. And you can make repetition fun. I mean, it always helps if you love what you do. Remember, if I'm going to be a great trial attorney, I shine when I'm in court. But if I don't prepare, like there's probably 3, 4, 5 times as much time preparing for that glory. That's success, basically. Okay, you got to be super repetitive. You got to, like in real estate, you have to have a killer pipeline, especially in a low inventory market. You have to, if you want to kill it next year. No soap opera, please. Maybe we should have that made as a sign. Okay, respect for everyone. Respect for everyone. I mean, look, the golden rule. I should probably just call it that. The golden rule, baby. And then take risks. Be courageous. Get outside your comfort zone. I would recommend it, folks. I would absolutely 100% recommend it. Okay, we have time for one question. Does anybody have a question for me? Hit *6. I can hear you. Yeah, I think these are kind of self-explanatory. I appreciate whoever asked for clarification on the 5. I appreciate that. So keep it rocking, folks. We'll do this again in exactly 1 week. You're the best. Okay, don't forget to be on the Mike Ferry Business Planning Seminar tomorrow too on Zoom. If you don't know how to get to it, just look for the emails. There's the link right on there. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Thank you. Bye-bye now.